For the first time ever, ThrillGeek is at Destination D23. So we have got 3 days of fun, lots of panels, lots of different shopping, lots of different things to do. We've never been to Destination D23 before, so I am excited to see all the fun, all the different things we get to experience here at Destination D23. So it's going to be a long one. Here we go. All right, our first stop in the shopping is the Walt Disney Company store. And there's a lot of people in here. So let's take a look around. You know how much we love a good button up here at ThrillGeek, and here's the Destination D23 Roosevelt, and it's gonna be hard to resist not getting that one. I love that Three Caballeros is one of the main characters for this year. Very cool. There's a lot of people in here. I'm just going to try to do a quick look at some stuff. And here's another Roosevelt's button down from D23. This is a D23 one. Very nice. So many different Destination D23 merchandise just for the event, just for this year's. And of course, even a water mug, shock surprise. Hat. And yeah, this store basically has all the Destination D23 stuff and D23 stuff. This is the Walt Disney Company store, so there are a bunch of exclusives, Walt Disney Company store exclusives here. Everything like Water Tower statue, and it's a nice little button up. And even you can see it has this specific Walt Disney Company store logo and a couple of different things. Of course, there's the famous Seven Dwarfs building. Of course, the studios, Walt Disney Studios. So all kinds of neat little merchandise. And there's even some stuff that's marked down, so there are some deals in here if you want them. Now we're in the Disney Studio store, Hollywood. So this one's a little bit smaller, but let's take a look around. Not as crowded in here. A lot of cute merchandise. And it does have the Disney Studio store, Hollywood logo on it. So let's take a look around here. A lot of button-ups. Very cute with the whole ice cream shop stuff. And of course, you gotta have a water bottle. And now we're about to walk into Mickey's of Glendale, the Walt Disney Imagineering shop, which is probably one of the most popular shops at the event. And hey, look, it's Tom Mara 2.0. Very cool. It looks like there's a lot of really cool displays all around the store. So let's go check it out. So Mickey's of Glendale. Looks like there's a lot of interesting things here. I see Haunted Mansion. Uh-oh. That could be bad for my wallet, but let's head over to Muppet Studios. Love the little setup with Kermit and the cameras and the director's chair. Very cute. Of course, there is a Muppet Studio Spirit Jersey shock surprise. There's a hat. Once again, very dangerous. Hats are very dangerous because they're not too expensive. I might have to buy one. Kermit, love this. There's Kermit shirt. It's got Kermit on the front in a pocket, and then Muppet Studio on the back. Very cute, very neat. I just love all this. Is this a mouse pad? Oh my God, that's a mouse pad. Of course, this Muppet Studio shirt. Sweatshirt. Once again, we live in Florida. I can never use it. Love the arches from the opening. Very cool. This is all very tempting. Very tempting. And even got the Muppet 70 years anniversary hat. Lots of tempting stuff over here. And like we saw over at some of the other stores, there is some discounted stuff here. It's like there's some Sorcerer Mickey stuff that has been marked down. So yes, there are sometimes discounts, which I was not expecting. Over here is this Destination Imagination collection, or Destination Unknown, Destination Imagination, but I guess it's Mickey of Glendale Station. I love it. It's DHS, DCA, TDS, DLP. Very cool with the subway styling of this stuff. Very unique. And I guess that's one of the points of this event, is unique merchandise. And of course, there is all kinds of Walt Disney Imagineering merchandise. So this is where you can get shirts, bags, hats, and more with Walt Disney Imagineering on it. Very cool. So over here, looks like we have some of the Haunted Mansion parlor merchandise, which very cool. Stickers, luggage tags, shirt, sweatshirt. Way too hot for here. Uh-oh, there's a hat. Uh-oh. I may have to get this. I may have to get that. This entire area over here, very dangerous. I must walk away. And last but not least, we're now in the ink and paint store as we're trying to wrap up our shopping time here. A lot of different brands are in here, so let's go browse around. The biggest fan of these, but there's about every type of lug bag you could ever want, looks like here. Or this is just the display right here. But there are a lot of Destination D23 lug bags, and you get a complimentary gift with purchase. So that's what you get for you purchase one of these here. So and they come in some different colors, but they're not my thing. So moving on. If you like puzzles, they have all kinds of puzzles. Of course, I guess this is gaming, the Lorcana game. So you can pick up, get start, single player decks, booster packs. I have not gotten into that. It's like there's all kinds of games and puzzles here. I should look at the sign first. Maybe that would make things easier. But yes, there is Lorcana stuff here. And you do get a promo card. And over here is Disney Fine Art. And Jason Marsden is out. Of course, you know him as the voice of Max. Looks like he's signing some prints that you can get him to sign and have a chat with him. Very cool. And there's some other Disney Fine Art artists over here too. Very neat. I love the Disney art, so Festival of the Arts is my favorite, so we have to stop back by here again. So yeah, this is as close to as like a vendor area as you would get at most conventions, because it's just a lot of different brands that have Disney stuff, from Pandora all the way to McFarlane Toys. So that is definitely a wide range. And over here, there are some, this is Art Brand Studios that'll have some different artists here throughout the event. Very cool. That was just a taste of the shopping experience here at Destination D23. Like I said, each shop is unique. And this final one I'm in, Ink and Paint, is a bunch of different brands that do stuff with Disney and Marvel. And I think I saw some Star Wars stuff too. So all the different brands of Disney are here. Mickey of Glendale's was probably my favorite one, just because of the Imagineering stuff, the unique merchandise in there. I may have to go back and get that Haunted Mansion hat. The other stores, you know, that had the Destination D23 merch, that Roosevelt shirt was calling me. But I don't know if I want to spend that kind of money. But I think up next, lunch. It's almost time for lunch. For today, we did have a special media lunch where we got a surprise guest as Jodie Benson, the voice of the Little Mermaid, showed up, and we even got to take a picture with her, as you can see here. That was really cool. I was trying not to cry. I know, I'm a grown man. Still, it's Jodie Benson, the voice of the Little Mermaid, and she's incredibly nice, incredibly wonderful. Now with lunch over, we are off to a guided tour of the Walt Disney Archives presents Charting the Course, Disney's Global Stories and Inspirations. Yes, I'm reading it off the other phone. So, I'm excited. I haven't really gotten to see a lot of Walt Disney Archive exhibits before, so hopefully this is pretty cool.
Walt Disney Archives presents Charting the Course. This is Disney Global Stories and Inspirations. So with the overall theme of the event being Disney Worlds, we were trying to think of how do we create something that kind of goes with that theming, and this is what we started with.
So as she said, we're going from concept to reality. Here is pictures from the tour that Walt Disney did in 1941 that, of course, led to Saludos Amigos and the Three Caballeros. These are trips Imagineering did for Disney's Animal Kingdom. Even down to, here's Joe Rohde's boots, and here's his sketchbook for, of course, Expedition Everest. And, of course, these are various illustrations by Joe Rohde here. That's been, shepherded Animal Kingdom for many years. So it was really cool to see some of the stuff that he's done as part of that. And it's trippy that they have his boots here. But you can see a sketch of the Yeti right there. Very neat. And there's even more stuff in the next room.
4 really exquisite pieces of original artwork. We have that first piece is done by Mary Blair, and that was done for Three Caballeros. The second piece we have is from Swiss Family Robinson. The third piece is from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. There's that beautiful underwater seascape. And then finally, we have a more recent piece. This is from Mufasa, but this is actually a really interesting piece because it was created for inspiration. So the director was trying to get in the mood of how do I create this film? So he commissioned an artist to create some pieces that would kind of serve as inspiration when creating the film. So we have this lovely piece here. So from there, we get into our model making phase. And then we get into our global explosion, essentially.
Here's a model of the Millennium Village, which I remember very well. It's still there. I believe it's, World Showplace now. But that is the model for it. Yes, it used to be full of all kinds of stuff during the Millennium Celebration. This is one of 2 of the most exciting things in here for me. This is a puppet from the Tapestry of Nations parade, which ran during the Millennium Celebration. Yes, Epcot had a parade, and it was one of the most beautiful and magical ones ever here at Walt Disney World. So it's cool to see these models, these actual puppets, I should say, right here.
One last piece that you might recognize in our Africa section. Here we have Little Red. This was an elephant that was used at the finale scene of Kilimanjaro Safaris when the attraction first opened. She's one of my favorites. Big Red fan, or Big Little Red fan. So then we move into South America, and we have some pieces from the live action film, The Jungle Cruise. We have costumes that were worn by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson here, as well as Emily Blunt, and the lovely prop arrowhead necklace. Here we have the map to the Tears of the Moon, as well as some of the pieces that are inside the book on display. And finally, a sign here from Nilo's River Adventure. Now we're heading into Europe, and you see these really beautiful models here on these 2 tables. This one here is Germany, of course, and this is from before the park opened, so it's a pretty early model. And then behind us is a model of the Stave Church from Norway, and you can see a beautiful snowy scene with that. Both of these have exquisite details, so if you get time, make sure you get eye level and can really peek into the environments. But my favorite piece actually from the Europe section is that gold angel. She's a little bit tiny, but what's really spectacular about her is she's our newest acquisition in the Walt Disney Archives. If you've gone to the Italy Pavilion, that first tower when you enter, there's actually a very small gold angel statue on the top, which you maybe not have even noticed. She actually was recently removed by WDI, and they've replaced her. So now she is in our collection. So we're so excited to have her. And it's definitely the closest she'll ever be able to get to this statue, because usually way up high. And then finally, let's turn our attention to the other corner, where we move into Asia. So we of course have Mulan's lovely costume here from the live action Mulan. Along with that, in this case, we have the sword that was gifted to her by the Emperor. Both the sword, the sheath, as well as the case were all custom made. So really spectacular detail. If you get a chance to get up close, really take that in. And then we have some models up front. This is the Singapore Village from Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. What else is cool about this model is if you look at these first 3 buildings, they're actually the same building, but it's in different phases of the process of creating the model. So once again, if you get a chance, please get close to taking those beautiful details. That pretty much brings us to the end of our tour.
That's it from day 1 of Destination D23. Lots of cool stuff. Looking forward to the panels tomorrow. kicking off with the studio showcase. We'll be back for more.